Everyone, I'm Kim with Abundant Life Tarot. Thank you for joining me for a quick update regarding Heidi Planck. Heidi Planck was reported missing on October 20th, although she hadn't been heard from since October 17th, 2021. It was her ex-husband and her 10-year-old, now 11-year-old son, Bond, who reported her missing to police. And, there's been scant details about what's been going on with the police investigation. It's like, what's going on? Have they heard anything? Why is it quiet? Why are they quiet? And then, what was it, a week ago? I think it was like a week ago, the Daily Mail put out an article, and I did put that on my community tab post where it was detailing Jim Wayne's declaration in their custody dispute when they were divorcing, right? And it had all this information about Heidi, at least from his perspective, about her mental fitness, that she seemed mentally unstable. There were some things he said in there that made you think, oh my gosh, what is really going on here with her? Like, did she have a mental break? Did she have, a mental break recently, and that's why we haven't heard from her, and that's why police are mum? What is really going on here? But then I put in the description box a link to a YouTube video where a YouTuber was able to get Heidi's response to the declaration of Jim Wayne's, in his allegations in his declaration and during the custody dispute. And so she was able to respond to it. One thing is clear, though, based on that YouTuber, because she actually was able to connect with Heidi's cousin. Heidi at one point did lose custody of her, she wasn't, I guess she had supervised visits between the time period of 2015 to 2017. Now, that's not to say that things haven't changed for her. I'm sure they have. When you're going through a custody dispute, and I know I've had to go through something similar. I didn't actually have to really fight for custody. My ex willingly just had me keep the kids. It wasn't like that, but there were still disputes over, child support, etc. So I know how contentious these things can get. I know that good people sometimes act poorly in custodial disputes. So I try to keep an objective look at things. And I was a little bothered by Daily Mail putting out that bit about Heidi. But on the other hand, it is helpful to have a better understanding of what's going on in her mental state way back when, to see if it informs us today. Does that change anything? No, it shouldn't. The police still should be actively looking for her. But it was just like, whoa, what is going on? And why didn't we get the full picture, like get her side of things? It was just interesting. So I wanted to do a quick update to see what was going on energetically with the case. Because, I just wanted to revisit it. So let's do that. So I'm using this new deck that I have, the Trace Evidence Oracle. Okay, information jumped immediately. So we're going to use this deck first. Spirit, we come to you for Heidi Planck. What is going on here? Initially we were thinking this was all about her boss. And some people are like, no, it's the ex that may have caused her to disappear. Some people are like, no, she's doing drugs, so she had a mental break, or maybe she just ran away. So, interesting. I think this is more so speaking to the custodial arrangements. And I'll tell you why in a moment. We got information, computer. It's literally like what we are finding here. Baby, that's, her son. Sure, it could mean she's pregnant now, but doubtful. And then money. Videos. hired help, investigator, son. Okay, so let me bring y'all closer. Let's see if we can bring you closer and zoom in. We got information, computer, baby, money, videos, hired help, investigator, and son. Okay, so where we are at now, this is where we are at. And this, when I say we, I'm meaning us collectively as we are looking in, almost like voyeurs, if you will, into the situation. I say that because of the computer card, what is coming through. To me, lack of information. But there is an investigator here. I don't know if this means that her family, like her family of origin, like her mom, her, her siblings, loved ones have hired a private investigator or contemplating hiring a private investigator. To me, if I had a family member or loved one, I would either be raising funds or using my own funds to get a private investigator assigned to a case, to the case to help with the investigation, because oftentimes the police are either not willing or not able to do a full-on investigation and have all eyes on the, case. And it's just helpful and reassuring to have your own private investigator advocating. So I'm sensing that here. What's interesting also is videos, hired help, and son, money, baby, computer, and information. So who released this information to the Daily Mail? And we're going to look at that in the tarot in just a moment. But who put that out there? Was it Jim? Was it, Daily Mail just being messy and going through court documents and, gaining this insight and information about her to put it out for the world to see? Or is this someone planting this information to have us, to throw the scent off, if you will, to throw the investigators off? Does someone like what do they call it? Not a personal assistant, a public relations person. I'm getting a sense of public relations, putting this information out here about when her child was a baby, about when her son was young. Now he's a boy. Now he's 11, right? He's a boy now. And from what I could tell, he means the world to her. Her ex has said that. Jim has said that on a few occasions. The court documents, from what I can gather, I still get a sense, she may have had some high stressful moments during the time of the dissolution of their marriage. There were some things that would make any person go like, I don't know about her being the soul or, just being alone with this child. But one thing came across clearly to me was that she loved her son. That energetically came up for me. And I sense that I'm not getting anything here that she just went away on her own. Let me see if anything comes up. Money came up though. Somebody paid for this information to get to the Daily Mail. Money was also a big contributing factor when she was fighting for her son. In the court documents, in the video that I put in the description box when they were the other YouTuber, and I think it escapes me, my apologies, but you can check out in the description box. They were able to look at Heidi's declaration, and she basically stated she didn't have a lot of money to fight this case. Oftentimes she would just text message Jim asking, can you, acquiesce to this? Can I have bond for Christmas this time because my my grandmother, his great grandmother, is really ill. She's she's on her deathbed. Can he come? So she was trying to do a lot of the stuff outside of court. Again, I relate to that. I'm no rich woman, and my ex and I did things that way where we're like, let's just try to work it out amongst ourselves. She tried that, but she was dealing with someone who had money. Okay, here's the money card. I'm trying to pull this up here. He had money. So that comes up for me, intuitively speaking, like, let's not judge a book by its cover. It could look really bad when you see that Daily Mail article, but money is also 2021, November, almost December. Money is the motivation behind that story getting out, behind that information getting out, okay? It wasn't her that put that out. There was no reason for the Daily Mail to put that information out there just because. Because really, honestly, that is the only most recent article about Heidi in the last three weeks or so. Since the last time we saw an update of her walking in the alleyway with her dog, right? Near the Hope and Flower building. So why all of a sudden did Daily Mail put that out? They don't release their source of who gave them that information. And that's because this was hired help. This was hired help money who put that out there, who wanted to broadcast that, to throw the scent off, okay? And that's where we are energetically with this. The investigation is still ongoing. It is still being looked at. Police are still looking at this, okay? FBI, other authorities, other agencies are still looking at this. But I'm also sensing that her family is either consulting or has hired a PI to help with the investigation. All right. I'm going to pick these up. And now I'm going to switch gears here. I'm going to switch gears. Put these off to the side because I wanted to get a feel for what is going on here with Heidi's mental state on the date of the disappearance. We looked at that before, but now that we're seeing what we see with this court, case between her and Jim when they were divorcing, now let's revisit. So Spirit, what was Heidi's mental state on the day of her disappearance? King of Swords. What are the energies surrounding her leaving or running away? Did she leave or run away? Seven of Pentacles. Did she leave or run away? Okay. I'm going to reshuffle that. I'm looking at my questions here. Okay. What are the energies surrounding whether or not drugs were a factor? And it could be prescription drugs or it could be, street drugs. Were drugs a factor? Two of Cups. What about the witness protection? Queen of Wands. Why are the police so quiet right now? What's going on with the police investigation into Heidi Planck's disappearance? Why are they so quiet? Why are they so quiet? Five of Cups. Okay. What about an involvement from an unknown person or maybe a crime of opportunity? Nine of Wands. Okay. All right. What about Jason Sugarman? How's he feeling since all of this is unfolded? How does he feel about Heidi specifically? Heidi's disappearance. What's going on with him? Two of Wands. Let me zoom out in just a moment, guys. All energy surrounding Jim on Heidi's disappearance, on the custody. He applied and received emergency full custody of their son. So Spirit, how is he feeling? Page of Pentacles. All right. And what's next in the investigation? Four of Pentacles. I feel like that came up before, but I could be wrong. Let me zoom out. And scoot. Okay. All right. So, I'm going to be pulling from my oracle in a moment, but I wanted to do this here. So the first question we had is, what was Heidi's mental state on the day of her disappearance? I'm not getting that she was, in a bad way mentally, to be honest with you guys, with the King of Swords. The King of Swords is about someone who's in control of their mental, faculties. They are self-assured. They are mentally astute. Drugs would not typically be a factor. If they were, it's like if she was on drugs, like prescribed drugs, she would be managing them with the King of Swords. So that's what I'm picking up on. Beach. And this card comes with that. Like her mental state was, she's gaining a higher perspective about things on that date that she went, that the last time anybody heard from her. Like, she was able to see things from a different, higher vantage point, a clear vantage point. Things were clear to her. I'm not getting, there are cards in the tarot that would indicate that there's mental turmoil, her being agitated, her being frightened, her being, just in a state mentally that would lead us to believe that maybe she had some sort of psychotic break, okay? I'm not getting that here. I could be wrong. I always have to say that too. Like, you guys, please don't come in the comments like, you're wrong, you're wrong. You could do that, and I don't mind you doing that. That's okay. But I also have to preface this by saying that I'm picking up on things energetically, and maybe there are certain things that I'm picking up on that are not right on the money, and then certain things I am picking on that are on the money. So I'm not trying to say I'm all knowing here, by the way. Just, I forgot to do that little preamble, if you will. All right, so Seven of Pentacles speaks to the energy surrounding her leaving or running away. We got the Seven of Pentacles. I'm sensing she may have been discouraged at times about what was going on, in terms of her relationship with her boyfriend. Like, I'm getting a sense of she wanted to plant seeds of a loving relationship and a connection with someone, and wondering if she was putting forth efforts into this relationship, and also realizing she has to stay in this area in, Downey, because she has her son there. They have a custody arrangement with Jen. And so sometimes, when you're a single parent, you're toiling day after day. You're wondering, am I toiling for nothing? Like, what's going to end up happening here? Am I going to end up being happy when it's all said and done? But I don't get a sense that she was trying to run away with the Seven of Pentacles. In fact, I got a sense that she was going to just continue to persevere. And that's confirmed here with the Dusty Road card. Like, things get a little dusty. Things get a little unclear. Sometimes your path is uncertain. But what do? You keep going. You keep going. And that's where we're at with her, okay? She decided very much a while back, probably even back when the custodial issues were going on, that she was going to push through. She loves her son. She loves the life that she was building. Yes, things were getting a little murky and unclear at times, but she did not, this is not telling me she ran away, okay? All right, so Drug issues. Two of Cups. Dry spell. Pilgrimage. Now, this is interesting. What this is telling me is I, again, am not sensing an all-and-out drug issue here. Now, some people, and I'm curious to hear from my other readers here, maybe you pick up on her having an active drug issue, whether it's prescription or non-prescription. Maybe at one point she did have some, a issue. Now, the dry spell is interesting because it could mean that for a long period of time, she was not engaging in drugs or abusing drugs, even prescription drugs. Sometimes people mistakenly think that you can't get hooked on prescription drugs. You can. Or that your doctors will just stop prescribing you prescription drugs. They don't, okay? So she had a dry spell, and this particular weekend, and I say that because the cups represents the timing of days for me. So 2 of Cups, 2 days. This is telling me that there was like a coming home where she was able to maybe kind of let her hair hang down. Sometimes people engage in maybe having a drink with some sort of mental stabilizer, for example. Or, I think there was mention that she was taking Adderall, or maybe there was other kind of anti-anxiety pills or something like that. Now, that could have been going on, but I don't sense that this was something that was out of control here. Could it be something that at one point she loved? And who am I to talk? Okay, you guys, who am I to talk? I loved, the ganja for a long period of time. So I ain't one to talk. But what I'm saying here is that I, again, don't sense that this was the reason why she just ran off. Like some people in their mind think, oh, she just ran off to Skid Row and that's where you'll find her. Well, I'm sure if that were the case, the police would have found her by now or would have said, she's no longer a missing person, right? So that's what I'm picking up on with her. And I am curious to hear what others have to say about that. Because I love hearing from you all, like on what your thoughts and takeaways are from this, this particular case or any case that we discuss. All right, so now we have the Queen of Wands. And this is to the question of witness protection. Now, some people are thinking because with Jason Sugarman, did she go into witness protection? Did she go into witness protection? I was leaning towards this, but then I would kind of like my logical mind, my mind, not my tarot mind, guys, not my intuitive mind, but my logical mind was like, Jason could be facing some serious time and losing a lot of money as a result of that SEC investigation. But was he a threat to her? Would he have caused bodily harm? And so Ascension, with the Queen of Wands and Ascension, there is, in this person holding their hand, I would say if I had to choose out of the options, that she had a mental break or that she was on drugs and she just ran off, or she was in the witness protection. Out of all of those 3 options, I would say that this would possibly be what could be going on. That maybe she didn't officially go into some witness protection, but maybe someone's giving her a helping hand, hiding her out, and that's why we ain't been hearing much from her because, maybe Jim knows what's going on with her and he's let the authorities know and it's for her own, keeping her out of harm's way. And he's just going to keep their son, and take care of their son. And that's why he had to file for full custody so he could be able to fully take care of their son because he knows what's going on. And that could be a strong possibility here. So that, and then that's why we may not have been hearing anything from anybody about this case, except for her cousin. Like I said, if you check out the videos on that one YouTube channel that I mentioned earlier, you'll see that her cousin has been vocal about the fact that her mom hasn't really heard anything. And really what's interesting is that Jim has been the one kind of leading the whole thing on behalf of Heidi with the police. And so Trey, her cousin, was like, that was problematic in his eyes, was that her ex is leading this. Why is that? What is that about? So I thought that was interesting. But the Queen of Wands is about her, maybe taking charge of a situation. And then we have Ascension. Now, this could mean other things that I won't delve into for time's sake, but yeah. Let's move on to the Five of Cups. Why are the police so quiet, Spirit, about the disappearance? Sacred ruins. Okay. Now, there's a couple of things here. The police, couple of things. In terms of local police, I'm not quite sure if they really know what's going on, and they could be withholding information. They could be withholding information here, as we see with the Sacred Ruins card. Despite it possibly hurting her loved ones, they need to preserve their investigation. They need to preserve what information they do know. And in terms of if it's a situation where they know that she's, either in witness protection or she's away or she's gone, they need to keep that information under wraps. So it may be disappointing for those who have been following the case, her loved ones like her mom or her extended family, but they're very much on the case. Now, this also could lead me to believe that they may have been disappointed with the lack of cooperation. Like maybe there was initially a lot of cooperation from her ex, for example, and there's not much cooperation now. Or maybe some leads have dried up that were once, they felt confident about, but now they're not so sure. But there are other aspects to their investigation that are very much active and very much needing to stay out of the public eye. And that, yes, that could cause emotional letdown and concern for the people who care about her, particularly her mom with this female. But it's not to say that, and then some people might look at that as, well, maybe they're withholding that they know that she's hurt. But I feel like if that were the case, the police would share that information by now. And they haven't, right? They haven't released that information. So we have the Nine of Wands to the question of Jason Sugarman. No. Involvement from an unknown person or crime of opportunity. And I was like, I thought that was interesting. Treehouse. Now, her letting her hair down. And now it's been several weeks. Wands represents the timing of weeks for me. It could be that this is a situation that is not like someone attacked her that she doesn't know. Or someone has hurt her, or someone has, I guess essentially hurt her that she doesn't know. A crime of opportunity could be someone who robs her for a car. I think it's also interesting that the car has not popped up yet. That's really interesting to me. And that's why probably some people are led to believe that she just drove off and left. But I sense that when she was at Hope and Flower, this was to somebody she has a history with that she knows. The treehouse is about, going up. To me, it's another representation of a high-rise situation. This is someone she was comfortable with, comfortable enough to be able to go, and she has history with and go spend time with on the day that she went missing. So I'm not sensing that she fell victim to a crime of opportunity. I feel like that what has happened to her and what she's going through is a result of the people, the players in her life already, not someone that she has encountered, newly. If it was someone newly, I feel like another card would come up, not the Nine of Wands. Okay, now we're moving on to Jason Sugarman and how he's feeling. How is he feeling? We got the Two of Wands. How's he feeling about her disappearance? Tidal wave, garden. Okay, on one hand, I feel like he is somewhat, I don't know if he was really hoping that she would be like a fall guy. Like some people are saying, like, her names are signed off on all this different paperwork. Because at the end of the day, that could be so. But we have to understand that SEC and any type of investigation being done like that, they're not so dumb to know that somebody is being played. Like if Heidi's name is all written all over the documents, it's not like she's the one calling the shots. So yeah, when I started to think about that, when they were like, oh, they were trying to blame him or blame her solely, him and his partner. Yeah, that's a possibility. I think he's also wondering what's going on with her. Where is she? Because it caused a tidal wave. All this scrutiny, all these people suspecting him when she disappeared, right? He's hoping that something will be unearthed soon. That perhaps, maybe she does need to come forward. We do need to find her. Some people would look at this and say that maybe he did something and he's worried about it being unearthed. And I could see that and I can sense that. That definitely is true in terms of what's going on with him financially. But in terms of her knowing all the ins and outs, yes and no. Jim, her ex, said she knows all the bones, where all the bones are buried. That could be true, but that does not necessarily mean she's totally culpable of what was being done with said bones. We can know things. And I worked in the financial industry, and I can tell you, I've seen certain investigations unfold. And you can know things, but not be a player at all, if that makes any sense. So I'm not trying to say like, oh, he's not guilty, or saying is that in terms of how he's feeling about this has caused a shitstorm for him, a tidal wave of negative attention already that was coming his way. And actually this has made it 10 times worse for him. So he is kind of wondering, where the hell is she at? Where is she at? And I'm starting to wonder energetically, like, I'm not picking up that he necessarily did anything per se to her, as much as, the stresses of the whole investigation on the organization that he runs on her, yes. But in terms of how he's feeling, this caused him way more negative attention, way more cause for concern, way more eyes on him than he could have ever imagined. Okay? And yes, he's still worried about things being unearthed, and maybe also hoping that she'll be unearthed and could come on back, because it does not look good on him. Not only, with this fraud investigation, allegedly, but also a disappearance of his bookkeeper. That's how he's feeling. Page of Pentacles in terms of energies surrounding Jim, how he's feeling. Page of Pentacles. Well, sudden change. Everything has, like a lightning bolt. Things have changed. Things have kicked off. Now, I know that he has a fiance, and This is about them embarking on a new beginning with the family unit, the family togetherness, as a result of what has happened. Just like that, just like lightning, Heidi is gone. And so he's taking the diligent steps on this, embarking on this new beginning. I don't sense that he's feeling necessarily bad about, I'm not saying that he doesn't feel bad. He feels bad probably in terms of how this is affecting his son. But in terms of how he feels about Heidi, I don't know. I don't know. And when I look at this, I'm wondering, I have some feelings. And I may do another reading specifically on the unit between him, his new, I guess, fiance, and Heidi. But in terms of how he's feeling about the disappearance as a whole, how he's feeling right now, he is just taking the necessary steps. And he always felt like, and I'm getting in my mind, I'm hearing him say, I've always had to pick up the pieces. I've always had to start over and start from scratch, you know. She's always leaving me holding the bag, if you will, and having to pick up the pieces and start anew for our son is what I'm getting here. But I sense a togetherness, a bond, and coincidentally their son's name is Bond, a closeness happening between his little tiny family unit here with, I mean, he has actually older children, adult children from a previous relationship. But in terms of his fiance and Bond, his son that he shares with Heidi, that's what I'm sensing now, is that he's feeling like he's got to do what it takes to help his son along. And then Four of Pentacles, the investigation is ongoing. The authorities are definitely holding things close to the vest. The Pentacles represents the season of autumn for me, so but it also represents the timing of years. I hope it doesn't take years for this investigation to fully unfold. I'm hoping that by the end of fall, which would be in late next month, that we're going to get more information, that we're going to hear more, that the police will release a little bit more, because loved ones, not just her son, but loved ones like her mom and her extended family are going to be putting pressure on the authorities to provide some information and release information out to the world on what is going on with her. So the investigation is definitely still going. I wanted to actually ask these cards here before I let you guys go. I wanted this to be quick, but of course, it's not quick. Of course not. All right. What can you tell me, Spirit, about the investigation? What is coming up next? We got the Four of Pentacles and the Universe card. Can't escape. Vehicle. Okay. Ooh, I got a chill there. We're going to get more information about what they're thinking has happened to her. Her, can't escape. That could, mean a few things. Could mean that she literally can't escape her circumstances, whether she had to leave, whether she chose to leave for her safety, or whether she is literally being held against her will, or whether, God forbid, something has happened that she can't escape her fate. More information about the vehicle. They're going to learn more information about her vehicle. Okay? When I see it in this, it kind of reminds me of a chop shop. But more information about her vehicle is what the police are going to be encountering or know. Whether they share that with the public, I'm not sure, but her family is going to get more information. They've just been really holding things close to the vest, and that's understandable. The police have to do that. The authorities have to do that. it's just frustrating for those who care about her. But things are still moving along. Okay. But wow, that's what I'm picking up here regarding Heidi Planck. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Let me know if you want me to explore, because when I was watching that other YouTube channel, by the way, they had mentioned in one of the live streams, one of the viewers or people who in the chat were like, I think that, the ex wanted the perfect little family with his new woman and his son and wanted Heidi out the picture. But I wasn't so sure about that dynamic either, only because it's like that would hurt his child more, I think, than anything else, and make life for them much more difficult for him to be mourning his mother than to just have his mother, co-parenting with them. You know what I mean? And Jim is older. Maybe he is a control freak. And that's why I was wondering if we should do a reading on their dynamics. But he's much older. And Heidi is 39, I believe. And if I were him, I would just want a co-parenting situation at that point. Shoot, I would want a co-parenting situation at my age, and I'm like in 41. So I don't know about that. But, could be wrong. Anyways, I rambled long enough. I'll take a snapshot of this, put it in the community tab section for those who just want a quick look at the cards. And thank you so much for watching. I am praying that Heidi is found safe and the answers come. No matter what is going on with her, the answers come for those who love and care about her. I can't imagine what her son or her mom must be feeling. I'm not saying that her other family members aren't worried, sick, but it's just heartbreaking to think that they don't know what the hell is going on. And they deserve some answers. So I pray for some answers to come very soon. All right, guys. Love y'all. Bye.